We live? Looks like we're live. I think we're live. Let's see. What's going on, Nick? How you doing, buddy? What's going on? We got all right. We got some people coming in here. Hey, cheers, Justin. Thank you for the love. Steve, what's going on, buddy? Oh man, this is great. I love it. All right, let's get this all situated. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Bourbon and Beards, man, is in here. Nick is fighting the urge to spend $300 on High West Prisoner's Share. I've heard some good things about that right there. I've heard, man, that was one of those bottles when that came out last year. I think that was last year, or it might have been the end of 2022. Man, when that thing came out, I was searching high and low for that bottle. Just never came across it, except for one store had it for like $3.75. And I was like, you know what? I can't do that. What's going on, Mark? What's going on, Rob? Rob, he's getting ready for his Lions. Hey, man, at this point, Bird's got number 2 seed locked up. It really don't matter who they're going to play until the championship game, whether it's going to be the Lions or the Vikings, you know? And at this moment, both teams are darn good. Really don't matter. We're going to beat either one of them. Don't matter to me. Local shop has 6 bottles of it? Goodness gracious. Thanks, Andrew. Much appreciated. What's going on, Josh? Everybody, make sure you guys drop that like for the on the video. Let's get this thing out there. Let everybody know that we're live for 10,000 subscribers. We got a big fun blind tonight. As you guys can see, we've got 5 very, very similar bottles, but very different in their own way, going head to head tonight. It's gonna be a fun one. Andrew, go Bills! This guy. We got a Bills fan, Bills Mafia in the house. Bills freaking Mafia. That would be a fun Super Bowl. Bills, Eagles. I've been saying that all year since everybody got decent. Bills, Eagles be a great Super Bowl. That'd be fun. Steve's having some Empire crust to celebrate. There we go, Steve. I like it. Mark, I am on the same boat as you. As long as it's not Kansas City. You know what? It can be Kansas City as long as Patrick Mahomes isn't playing. Let me see Carson Wentz play in the playoffs at least. That'd be fine for me. I just don't want to see Mahomes do it. Go Birds. I'm seeing a lot of Birds fans in here. That's right, y'all. That is right. Let me get this link copied and pasted in a couple of places, and then once we get that going, I will get this going for everybody. We're gonna have some fun tonight. I can't wait. This is gonna be fun. Title. All right. That's up. That's here. You guys are all here. We've got a bunch of people already joining up. What's going on, Luis? Lions will eat. Rob's talking shit. Rob's already starting. I love it. I'm not even any. I'm one Old Weller Antique in, and he's already starting to get to me. That's David. You are so right. The Lions have a high-powered offense, but man, when it comes to their defense, I just don't know if they have what it takes to come and play in the playoffs. You know, they're gonna be lucky. Hopefully, we'll see if they get that number 1 seed. You just never freaking know. How's that Eagle Rare 17 sipping? Man, the Eagle Rare 17 is good. You guys will see that review next week for the Eagle Rare 17. With me and Andrew cracked open the George T. Stag, but we opened our pallets with that Eagle Rare 17, and it is, you know, like I said in the video, I've been looking for that bottle of a nice sipper that's full of flavor, that's a lower proofer. And, you know, I was looking for the Michter's 10-year bourbon or a rye, but they eluded me. And, you know, I wasn't spending $350, $400 for one of them. And I was fortunate enough over at Circle Liquors, $145 for that Eagle Rare 17, and I couldn't say no for that. I couldn't say no, and it's darn good stuff. Man, we got a lot of heads popping up in here. I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. So Justin said the Vikings win yesterday won me a bottle of the new Red Label's Four Roses. Hey, there you go. There you go. But it's going to be a fun one. I've got a fun blind here that I've wanted to do. And now that I'm fortunate enough to have another George T. Stag to put a Stag, a GTS versus a GTS in this, it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun to see just how well a George T. Stag fares against regular Stag Juniors. And we also have one store pick in here. This is the highest proof bottle in here, coming in at 137.9 proof. It's going to be a fun one. What's going on, John? How you doing? Make sure one of the Patreons in here puts the link in the chat for Mike, because we all know Mike can't do his... it doesn't know how to do left from rights, and I highly doubt he'd figure out how to get on the chat here. But hey, it is what it is. Mark's already pinned it. I love it. What's your opinion on 200 for a 24C? Nick, that's a tough call because I haven't had the 24C, but I say it all the time. Stag Juniors for me, anywhere from like 150 all the way. I would go max 175 for Stag Juniors, only because, you know, it's not a bottle you're going to crush and kill immediately. It's a bottle that, you know, it's hard to find, and it's a bottle that's worth it. You know, some people are going to say you're crazy for it, but it's your own money. Use it how you want. And for me, I think that Stag Junior outperforms a lot of those other bottles that are in that price range of that $150 to $200. So why not spend the money on a bottle that's worth it compared to a bottle that's not? That's just my take on it. Yes, Steve, and all Stag blind, we should be feeling really nice after this. That is for sure. He said I got his 24C for 130. That's a good price in my personal opinion. Some people are going to say that's too much. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Something is going to get broken tonight. Mark, that is not going to happen tonight. We are not breaking anything. We haven't broken anything on a live stream in almost over a year. So that is hopefully not going to be the case tonight. Doc's in the house. Cheers, everyone driving back to Texas from Colorado. So we'll be listening. Congrats on 10K. Thanks, Doc. Much appreciated to you. Hope your Christmas over in Colorado was well worth it. So many good ones around me right now. Another shop has a Coy Hill for 400, but can't do that. I personally would not spend that on a Coy Hill. I don't think this year's Coy Hill is anything more than 150, 175 bucks. A couple years ago, different story. This year's, I've gone back to the bottle a couple of times, and it's good. It's really good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think that it has the cojones to hold up to its counterparts and also some other bottles that are in the same wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Paulo, we need to break stuff tonight. 10K Breaking Bad. You're funny. You're funny, Paulo. You are funny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get some information out here right now for you all. What we're doing tonight, right? This is an all Stag blind. This is gonna be fun. We've got 3 Stag Juniors, 2 George T. Stags on the bar. First one here is going to be the Stag Junior store pick from Bourbon Street Wine and Spirits. Bourbon Street, 137.9 proof. Second one here is going to be the Stag 24B, coming in at 127.8 proof. Our third one here is going to be the Stag 24A, coming in at 127.6 proof. Our fourth one is going to be the brand new George T. Stagg 2024 at 136.1 proof. And then finally, we've got the George T. Stagg 2023 at 135 proof. I put all 5 of these in here because these are the Stags that I picked up for 2024. I got all 5 of these this year. Fortunate enough, even though we got one in January and we got a couple in the summer and this one most recently, but I wanted to see what the best Stag of 2024 was. So this is going to be fun. Justin is saying 24A will win in his honest opinion. Hey, it's got a case for it. You know, it's a nice, bright, sweet sipper. We'll see how it fares in this blind right here. It's going to be fun. Let me leave a link. I'm really interested, John. I'm really interested to see how the store pick does against the GTSs as well. It's the highest proofer here, but you never know. That proof isn't always in the pudding, and this could just very well be a good case of that. But I'm going to leave the link to the Patreon in the chat here, just in case anybody in this chat right now has been contemplating about joining in on the Patreon. Fun things happen over there. That's the first place that we drop picks and stuff. Once we get through this blind, I will dive in, or once we get a little bit into the blind, I'll dive into what 2025 has in store for us. It's gonna be a big year. I can't wait. Even though we got a baby on the way, that don't mean nothing. We got fun things happening. We're only growing from here in 2025. That's right. What is going on, Tom? Cheers to you, brother. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Thank you so much. Couldn't have done it without you. You helped me out with one of those big bottles for 2024. The Limestone Farms. It's a fantastic bottle. But Salty, it is not twins. Stop that. Spencer's not in the chat. You can't just go start saying that they're twins. But as you guys know, we start with number 1. So here we go, into the nose of a Stag. You can't go wrong with that. Oh man, can I say that these are all going to just smell amazing and just get right into the palate of these? John said GTS 24 is a solid pour. I felt it was a tad bit hot. John, in the review I uploaded today, I felt that the heat hit right off of the bat on the tip of your tongue, but then it subsided and you got a lot more of that enjoy what it had to offer, and it was a very enjoyable sip after that heat dissipated off the tip of my tongue. Whereas from what I remember, the 2023 was not hot in the beginning, but then you got that hug on your tongue. Oh God, you guys are killing me. All right, here we go. Into the palate and the nose of glass number 1. The nose is 1. It's deep. It's rich. Dark brown sugary notes. These are all going to have those same noses. So let's just get into the palate of this. Attacks your tongue. These are all over 125 proof. And the first thing I had today was that Old Weller Antique at 107 proof. So we're jumping up big time right now. John, I don't do water ever, but think I'd have added a drop to get more out of it. Again, opinion. Mark, thank you so much for the congratulations. I appreciate that so much. Salty says the Thomas H. Handy 2024 is titties. Salty, we still have to do that 1 ounce to 1 ounce swap. So whenever you want to do that, let me know. But number 1 is really good. Really good. It's got some... when I say chalkiness, it's chewable. This is thick and viscous, and you get some barrel aged and some barrel char out of this glass here on number 1. I figured you forgot. No worries. New Age is in here. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Thank you so much for the congratulations. I appreciate that. Jack, new subscriber this year. Better late than never. Congrats on 10K subscribers. Thank you, Jack, so much. I'm glad you found us. It's a fun time. 2025 is going to be a big year, like I keep saying. And I'm glad you finally joined in and found the channel. I mean, I hope you enjoy your time here with us, forever long that may be. One's good. Let's go on to number 2 here. Adam, joining this group has been a blessing in disguise. I can't imagine living without the Discord and chatting with those idiots. Yes, Adam, we are all idiots over there. We all love talking about whiskey and all kinds of crazy, crazy things over there. It gets a little crazy after midnight in the Discord chat, but that's what it's all about. Just having some fun. Two's nose, Salty knows exactly what Adam is talking about. Everybody here knows exactly what Adam is talking about. Patrick says we like it crazy. Yes, Patrick, we love it crazy. Two's nose is softer. It's not as deep and dark. This is a little bit brighter. I also don't get as much proof on the nose. One's nose definitely has a little bit more of a proofy punch to it. Yes, Steve, Adam is a great addition to the Degenerates, that's for sure. Congrats on 10K, well deserved. I very much appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. Everybody in this chat right now, thank you so much for coming out and having some fun with us. 2 is a lot sweeter, but I don't know if the sweetness is a better sweetness. It just tastes brighter. It doesn't give as much depth behind what it has to offer from 1. I'm also getting a little bit more heat on the back end. I'm getting heat going down the back of my throat, the back of my tongue, and I'm not finding a lot of the depth that this could possibly have. All right, Mark Wells, let's go on our first BTAC, GTS 2024. Hey, there you go, Mark. Congratulations. Congratulations to you, man. Young, he's in here, sub Stinkies. No, you're stinky. You're stinky. Mark, when are you cracking that bad boy? Are you planning on it? I like 2. I like it. I don't think it's better than 1, though. Let's get into 3. Let me sip of water first. Don't make fun of me. It's my wife's. Put that right there. What is going on? Mike is in the house. Rehab is for quitters. Just poured up a good time Neapolitan. Okay. There she is. Maybe New Year's. Okay, Mark, I like it. I like it. Mike figured out how to click the YouTube link. Hooray. It's about darn time that Mike figured out how to click a button, right? Why we congratulate Mark. Mark got himself a George T. Stag 2024, but not Mark from our Discord. New Mark here. If you scroll up, Mark Wells. Mark Wells got himself a BTAC. Our Mark will never find a BTAC. Exactly, not me. All right, number 3. I want to hear, actually, I got a question for you guys before we get into number 3. Let me know in the chat right now. Let's have a discussion on what your favorite bottle from 2024 was. Today is the second to last day of 2024, and we had a lot of good bottles, but I want to know what your personal favorite bottle was from 2024. Let's have a discussion. Let's see if there's some bottles that some of us might not have seen or had before, and if it's something that, it's worth it for us to pick up. Let's see. So he said, I have a Weller 107 on the way. I'm stoked. Didn't pay online price, but definitely MSRP. Not bad, not bad. Where are we getting Coy Hill for a non-ridiculous price? Nowhere, honestly, right now. It's crazy. John said Russell's Reserve 15. Tom said he's not saying his own distillery. I get you. I understand that. George T. Stag 24. We'll see how well it fares tonight, Tom. We will see that. Western Milestone was my favorite. Chris, I know you love that bottle. Steve, Russell's Reserve 15. You were just saying George T. Stag 2024. Mark saying Russell's Reserve 15. I didn't have a bottle, but was lucky enough to have 2 samples. Hey man, that's a couple ounces right there. That's more than some people had. Three's nose is candied fruits. Candied fruits in this glass. I like the nose probably the best out of the 3 so far on number 3. CYPB, Russell's Reserve 15, or E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. All 3 of them sound really, really good. Did you get just a regular base single barrel from the distillery, or did you get a store pick? Let's get a pallet of 3. You guys are hilarious. Three is interesting because it brings a lot of heat, but it's not. It leaves a long-lasting finish. 3, I think 3 might be better than 2. I'm just gonna move it over right now because that's my initial thought process. Is 3 is better than 2. Bardstown Bourbon Amaranth and Disco 12. Hey man, you are gonna be on Mike's. You're gonna make Mike go crazy. Exactly. All right, I said it and Mike said it at the exact same time. Russell Reserve 15 prices have jumped a lot because of Fred. Yeah, Fred Minnick screws up a lot of things in this whiskey world, especially good whiskey. Justin Nettle said I snagged the Russell Reserve 15 but haven't opened it yet. Might as well crack it for New Year's. Why not, right? Let's have some fun. David Santos, Cedar Ridge Double Oaked would have been Limestone Farms that didn't arrive yet. I love the Cedar Ridge Double Oaked. Really, really good. I heard that their Double Oaked Rye is really good too. Mark Wells, LLME, you're talking about the Russell's Reserve 10-year. Which Stags are you drinking? Larry Bob, I've got a Stag Junior store pick for a lot of you guys that are just joining in now. So we're doing a 5 Stag blind. This right here is a Stag Junior store pick coming in at 137.9. We've got Stag Juniors 24A and 24B. We have the brand new George T. Stagg 2024. And then we also have the George T. Stagg 2023 complete blind. Seeing which one of these comes out on top. Picked up all 5 of these Stags this year in 2024. This 2023 picked up end of January. These 3 were recently, and this was January, and then 2024 was the most recent Stag pickup. So really, really fun times over here. We just drank 3, which was better than 2. Now we're on number 4. I could still count right now, so I'm not counting myself out on this blind. I am the push. I have a Stag store pick 139.9 proof, saving for tomorrow. Hey, that's going to be a good crack open for New Year's. Enjoy that one. 139.9, man. It's so close to hazmat. That's awesome. What was this again? 137.9. I still think that, 135, anything over 135 can either blow you out of the water, or they've done it so well that it's still enjoyable. FYI, we just changed to Bourbon Outfitters due to shipping issues. Your bottle has been shipped to my knowledge. Hey, there you go. You hear from the source, David. Tom is, if you don't know, Tom is with Limestone Farms. And anybody that has any questions about Limestone Farms, send them right to Tom, because Tom knows pretty much everything there has to do about Limestone Farms and just how good that bourbon really is. So Patrick, I'm going to win a GTS in my March lottery. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself anyway. Patrick, I'm going to keep telling myself that you are going to win a GTS in your lottery, so that you've got 2 people here on your side. David Lello, sipping on Riesling while I'm cooking, but have a NBC pick breathing when I eat. There you go. Nice. Hey, there you go. Cheers to that right there. Best bottle of 2024, River Roots and Pie Wheat Crust. I like it. Let's get into the palate of 4. Nose of 4 is nice, but it's a little bit more of an earthier nose compared to the first 3. Let's get into the palate. Don't say that, Salty. Oh, oh. Hold the phone. What is in 4? That's thick like syrup. That is so thick. That is one that gives you a hug going down that I love so much. Penelope Estate Private Select has really impressed me for the price point. Okay, all right. I had the opportunity to pick up one of those for like $90. I think it was the single barrel. I can't quite remember which one it was, but I decided to hold off against it because it was like a lower proofer, and they're proofing those down a decent a bit from what I heard. You guys are awesome. You guys are bringing me so much joy, so much joy. Oh man, number 4 is good. I think I gotta bump it up over these two, but I don't know if it's better than 1. I saw the 10-year single barrel today for $100. Just didn't know if they were any good. That's where I'm at too. I just don't know. You know, I like Penelope. Some of their offerings, some of their things are just a little bit scary, and I just don't know if I want to get back into some of their drops. They've got one coming out in maple and rum casks, I think, or something like that. That's coming out. Sounds good. But again, sounds like we might get something that's overly sweet, like the Rio was. But you guys know I like that Rio batch 1. Batch 2, batch 3, not so much. Batch 1, really, really different, really, really fun bottle. Salty, when we getting Paulo on one of these streams? Well, we're talking to Paulo before we got on here. Hope Paulo might be one of the next contestants on the Whiskey Blind, where I blindfold him and pour him some fun things, and we see which one he puts on the King of the Hill. I fell asleep to it twice. It was way too. What are we talking about here? You guys are confusing the crap out of me. Penelope Weeded is good. I got it for $40, so it's worth that. I haven't had many other Penelopes I've liked. The Penelope Weeded is that new one that's got the yellow label on it, I think, right? John, yep. John wants to do it too. John, when John's in the area again, we'll get him out here. Like I said, once we get through to the beginning of 2025, we'll have some fun on this channel for sure. I've also seen the weeded. It just looks super. It does look really light. It really does look light. All right, let's get into 5. Five's nose is nice. I like 5 a lot on the nose. 5's nose is very well rounded. David said, agree on the Penelope Estates impressing. Can't go wrong with old MGP if it's not overpriced. That Bardstown Weeded was a surprising bang for $50. Dude, that Bardstown Weeded is incredible. Absolutely incredible bottle for sure. Cheers, Larry. Cheers to you, brother. How you doing? 5's nose really might be the best nose out of the bunch. Brian says he's currently in the process of working on a barrel pick with his group at King's Distillery for our iconic. Oh, that's fun. That's really cool. I like 5's nose a lot. It does have a little bit of heat, but it's the most well-balanced and well-rounded out of the 5 so far, I think. It's got everything that, you know, a true Stag should have. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that this is better than at least these two. These first 3 here, 1, 4, and 5, all really, really good. Steve, I thought, didn't some Bardstown start dropping in Mass? I thought you were starting to see some of it there. Just picked up 2 bottles of Old Forester 1924 here in Montana. Any thoughts? I like the Old Forester 1924. I just wish it was a sub $100 bottle. It's one of those bottles that, it's really, really good, but I don't know if it's as good as it should be for the price. It could, if, we were seeing like 15-year Old Forester with that 15-year age statement on there, then maybe I would go for, that $115 price point at 100 proof. But 10 years, I just don't know. But it's a good bottle. I mean, I think it got fourth place in the lower proof category for Bourbon of the Year. What's going on, Nick? How you doing? Cheers, brother. Minnick eats turds from the litter box, allegedly. Mike, the things you say just are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Oh, here you guys go. I want to show you guys this. This is going to be, I got one thing coming in the mail, and then we will have a new mic for 2025 starting here soon. We got a new microphone. This is pretty cool. I'm very excited for this. Hopefully sound quality upgrades going forward, because this thing, I'm so stoked to use this. I'm so excited for this. But really cool. Really, really cool. Alex, thank you. You should be getting your glass soon. I got a notification that it finally left my post office. So once it gets out, I guess Christmas and whatnot. But if you want, I'll give you the shipping number so you can track it. The tracking number. I'll give that to you so you can follow it. But it should be on its way, hopefully today and closer tomorrow. Yeah, everything does throw everything back on the holidays for sure. So Brian, do you have anything in the works for any picks coming up? So yes, 2025, I've been in contact with 3 distilleries so far. Blue Note, Cedar Ridge, hopefully we're looking at, and the third one is on the down low. So you guys have a surprise coming. Hopefully everything is a surprise, but we should have some really cool picks dropping in the very, very beginning of 2025. I'm looking to hopefully do picks every quarter in the beginning. So, we'll do one in the beginning of the year and then one in the second quarter. And if things are going pretty well, we might do 2 in the third quarter moving forward, just to see how well things go. I don't want to oversaturate you guys because, too many just doesn't make any, I want to keep it fresh and fun, and I don't want you to get like this buyer's remorse or whatnot, so I don't want to be like a bunch of other channels where I'm just bombarding you with a bunch of picks in the beginning and I'm struggling to sell those and stuff like that. So that's the plan. Do a couple of picks in the beginning of the year and get those out for you guys. But Blue Note, that is the one that I am looking the most forward to for you guys, because I want to do a pick that's sub $70, so that we can get a bunch out there, get a bunch more guys in the Patreon, and just get this thing rolling. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Alex said I paid $150 for a Stag B24 is good for my first Stag. That's not a bad price. I say it all the time, Alex. Anything under $175 for your first one, not a bad gig. After that, you make that call for yourself if you're willing to spend a little bit more money, or if you want to spend less money moving forward. Next big sub count event, you should do a sub invite to drink a blind with you. That I tried to get Andrew over here tonight, but Andrew didn't want to come. Andrew was bored and being a phony. Didn't want to come and have some fun with me tonight, but it is what it is. I love Andrew, but I tried. I did try. Yeah, Mike, you're right. They should join the Patreon. I'm going to leave that link in for the Patreon right now. Everybody, like I say all the time, we do a lot of giveaways and stuff like that, and I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the Patreon tonight for whatever bottle wins this blind. Whatever one wins, one of the Patreons is going to get a sample of that. And you can join the Patreon for as little as $2 a month. You get so many incentives for joining the Patreon for as little as $2 a month. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but I'm not here to tell you to join it. I'm just telling you what you get out of it. You get a lot of fun things. You get the Discord and stuff like that. You get to talk to us all darn day, whether you want to or not. Mike says he's drinking Grizzly Beast. Okay. Mike said, give me his phone number. I'll call him and change his mind, right? I think that if he knew what we were drinking tonight, he might have come. But I'm going to go back into these again. I think 1, 4, and 5 are definitely the contenders. Yes, Nick, thank you so much. Everybody, hit that like button. Let's get this out there. You guys are absolutely awesome. Josh is having some Frank August single barrel. I like it. Oh, man. This is almost like burnt caramel on top of like, oh, man, this is good. Man, this nose on one is crazy. Alex, thank you so much. I much appreciate you. Wow. One is robust. It's not as sweet as you would imagine it to be off of the nose, but it's probably the most well-rounded and balanced from the 5 that I can remember off the top of my head. Ducky says, I am tasting my first Stag tonight, a sample of 23B from my whiskey Secret Santa. Hey man, there you go. What's your thoughts on it so far? Did you taste it yet, or are you just letting it sit in that glass? I need the wife to go to bed so I can get my Stag from my hiding place and join you. And 4 on the nose is a little bit more of a brighter, sweeter, almost like candy apple in a way. Those I haven't seen. That's the bottled and bond ones, right? That you're talking about there, Brian. The green and the red bottle, the Grizzly Beast. I haven't seen those in my area in a while. Salty, you're right though. Redwood Empire, everything that I've had from them has been absolutely stellar juice. Really, really good. Oh man, okay. I like 4, but I don't think 4's finish and initial palate is as good as 1 so far. Has had the longest finish and just like continuous just sweetness and robustness over the top so far. All right, let's get into 5. They're doing single barrel picks. Redwood Empire mark. 5 on the nose is, man, it reminds me of sticking my nose in just like a bag of hard candies of just like different flavors like that. The hard apple, the hard banana, the lime and the orange, whatever those hard, really, really like small sweet candies are. This has that on the nose. Cheers, Husky. What's going on, brother? I want to swap them 5 and 4, but 5 has a little bit of a bitterness. A little bit of a bitterness that is kind of taking over my tongue a little bit here. Oh, man. I just don't know. I don't know. I think 4 needs to stay where it is. Let's do a little bit of a... I think 1 deserves its spot at number 1 right now because it's the most well-balanced and best nose, best palate, best finish so far. Let's get into 5 again. So Mark's saying that he sees a single barrel program at Redwood Empire. That's pretty cool. That's right, Ian. Go Birds. It's going to be a fun one. Do you think, everybody in the chat, do you think, whether you like the Eagles or not, do you think that Saquon Barkley should be able to go for the rushing record next week, or do you think that they sit their starters and let them get a week rest moving into Wild Card Weekend? Let's have that discussion right now. 3. Yes, 100% go for the record. He deserves to do it versus Giants. I like it. Rest, record, yes. Sit him. This is fun because I thought that it would be a little bit more of go for the record. Patrick says play all the starters. Ducky says I think he will want to play. Tim says go for it. Dave said records are made to be broken. That's 100%. Justin, they need to let him get 101 yards. I'm thinking he can get 101 yards in the first half against the Giants at home. And after you get that record, then you set the starters. You give them that extra half of just rest so that they're not really on their feet all too much in that game. And, it is what it is. Record is broken. Because I think he definitely has the ability to do it. And I personally would love to see him do that. First year as an Eagle and against the Giants, that to me just is the icing on the cake. It's not MetLife Turf, so he'll play. Chris, that is a good point. I think that if this game was in New York, I don't think that they play. But because it's on grass and it's home field turf, I think that it's a good possibility. I'm going to lean towards like a 65, 35 kind of percentage on he plays. That's just my take on it. The Warhawk, thank you so much for the love. I truly appreciate it. I think that this, whatever is in 5, might be last. I really do. 5 had that little bit of a bitterness that just wasn't the biggest fan of. If Sirianni sits him, he ain't got that dog in him. He ain't got that dog. I think that Sirianni's going to play him. Let him see what he can do. Let him cook in that first quarter, second quarter, see what he's doing. And I think we'll see just what they've got in store. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't quite know if Jalen plays, only because I think that, they looked pretty good with Tanner McKee out there as their third-string quarterback. So we'll see. I think that Tanner McKee might get some reps. Maybe if Jalen is healthy, they let him get a drive or two just to not have 3 weeks off, which I think might be a smart idea. But hey, it is what it is. The record is 16 games. 17 games is Fugazi. Well, you got to think about it. OJ did it in 14 games. And Eric Dickerson, he's not looking back at that. And you also got to think Dickerson did it in, I think, 370 attempts, whereas Barkley's only 330. So it's a give and take. You can look at it how you're looking at it, or you can look at it the league is changing. Things are different. It's not like it used to be, back in the day it's a pass-heavy league now, whereas before it was rush-heavy. But the fact that he's doing it in a league today where, things are so much different, you got to give him his props for it. That's just my take on it. But I appreciate your take on it, and that, your take's not wrong, my take's not wrong. It's just how you want to look at it. Let's see. Hell yeah, sit him after he breaks it. I agree with that. I'm placing a bet on everyone with incentives next week. If Saquon sits, I'll be bummed. I will be bummed too. The Giants are the league for letting Strahan get the sack record. Barkley has 31 carries less than Dickerson right now. Exactly. I don't think Barkley cares about the record with his injury history. I think he would rather stay healthy for the playoffs. If you're basing it off past games, you're old AF. I think that every statement that we make about it, everybody, everybody has their own opinion. Everybody's opinion is based off of how they feel, and some people feel this way, some people feel this way. Can't really say one is wrong. Where I understand where he's coming from with that take. It was done in 16 games, whereas Barkley's got 17. But then if you're looking at Dickerson did it in 16 games, you then have to look at OJ did it in 14 games. So I think it's kind of null and void, my personal opinion, but I respect your opinion on that. Vikings beat the Packers yesterday, kings of the NFC North so far anyway. They are the kings of the North. The Vikings do look scary. The Vikings, in my personal opinion, are better than the Lions, but I don't think the Vikings are better than the Birds. That's a good point there too. I'm interested to hear what the Eagles O-line thinks. They probably want him to get that record. I personally think that the O-line wants him to get that record more than he wants to get that record, only because that just goes to show just how good that O-line really is. Barkley is a true beast. Imagine what he could have done with a line at New York. Exactly. Imagine what he could have done with a line in New York. But he didn't have a line in New York. Packers D looked dog shit until quarter 4 yesterday. Better not have that same look in the playoffs, or we are toast. Right now, it's looking like it's Eagles-Packers in the playoffs for that 2-7, and we'll see what happens there. Oh, Mike coming in with the $20. Do you have a 10-plus-year-old Elijah Craig barrel proof or private barrel? I'd so blind that with a Stag Jr. If not, get drunk after this blind. Congrats on 10K. Thanks, Mike. Thank you so much. So, the Elijah Craig barrel, I have a bunch of the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. I got the C923, the A124, B524, B523, A123. I got a bunch of them. So we can throw another, whichever one you want to see go against the Stag. And after this, we can definitely do that. I think we have our order here. I think we have 1, 4, 3, 2, 5. I want to go back into these two real quick one more time, because I do think that 5 is, it's not the worst. It's not bad by any means, but it is the worst out of the 5 so far. Any of them north of 10 years? Yeah. The C923 obviously is 13 years. The A123 is the last one that was 12 years old. The B523, we're looking at 11 years and 5 months. And then the B524, we're looking at 11 years, 2 months. So they're all pretty much over that 10-year range. If that's the case, we better have our Discord watch party. Hey, we could definitely go on a Discord after this. And the Discord watch party is only for people that are in the Patreon. So if you want to join the Patreon, go for it. All right. All right. I got to go back into these real quick. C923 due to the proof. I kind of agree with you there, John. I think I've done it before, and the C923 is darn good. But we can definitely do it. We can definitely see. Yeah, 2. Steve said there's definitely a Discord after party. We'll see about that. We'll see. I like 3 a lot. I really do. This is hard. This is probably the hardest one to find out which is that 3rd, 4th spot. Which one's going to land on a podium? All right, we're good. Swap them over. This one just has a little bit more of an oomph that just brings a little bit more sweetness onto the palate over than 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to see what you guys think is going to come up here in 5th place. Do you think it's a Stag, Do you think it's the pick? Do you think it's one of the ones from this year? Or do you think it's one of the George T. Stags? Let me know. Your money is 5 is 24B. Really? Okay. Andrew with the $5. South Jersey represent. Hey, thank you, Andrew. Much appreciate that. That is awesome. Cheers to you, brother. Let's have a last sip of 5 before we find out what number 5 is. Drew says, I'll probably never own a GTS, but lucky enough to have 2 Stags. Drew, you're more lucky than a lot of people out there, having 2 of those. But nonetheless, let's find out what 5 is. 5 is letter C, which means letter C is this one right here in the middle. You guys don't see what it is, but I don't either. We're going to find out right now. It is, very surprisingly, Stag Jr. 24B. Whoever said 24B, Justin, you are correct. And we've got Salty with the $20. Salty with the $20. Thank you, brother, so much. I much appreciate that. You are an absolute saint and a legend. You've been here since pretty much day one, and I can't thank you enough for that. But that's great. I did not. I'm reading that right? C? You guys are reading that? C? Wow. Okay. All right. That's crazy. All right. He nailed that one. We're going to find out right now. We've got number 3. What do you guys think number 3 is? Okay. Paulo's already got it wrong, but he said number 1 is the George T. Stag 24. 2 is Stag 24B, which is wrong, which is crazy. I thought 24B would do a lot better than it did. 3 was Stag Store Pick. 4 was the GTS 23, and 5 was 24A. So let's find out what 3 is right now. We've got letter E. And the letter E is, not this one, it is this. We've got the Stag Jr. 24A. So as much as I said I think that 24B is better than 24A, I guess apparently it's not. And this blinds tell them all, right? But it is what it is. I personally did think that 24B was really good when we first cracked it open and did that review of it. But going up against this, it was clearly not better than A. And it is what it is. Golly. He's here, everybody. He is in the chat. He's made his way to the chat. We've got the zombie himself. And he's going to say that it's twins for the rest of his life. And he's going to find out once the baby boy comes, it's not twins. Salty says the vampire is here. That is very, very true. The vampire is here in the chat. Stag releases this year both got the shit end of the stick. But here we go. We've got some fun stuff here. We've got our 3 bad boys here. I did not expect all 3 of these to be on the podium, but here we are. We've got a Stag Junior store pick. We've got the George T. Stag 2023 and the George T. Stag 2024. Let's find out what came in 3rd place. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got letter A. And letter A goes to, drum roll please, George T. Stag 2023. As you can see on the back of that, it's got the letter A. So that means we've got the possibility that a Stag store pick can beat out a George T. Stag. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, man. David Santos says, imagine Dallas fans watching Barkley and Henry this year. Man, I love watching the downfall and the demise of Dallas. It's great. A little old fashioned trying to make his rounds. There he is. What's going on? What's going on? Man, this is fun. This is good. This is good. All right. Jerry says the store pick is the winner. Jerry, you never know. You never know. We've got the Stag store pick. As everybody knows, if you don't know, 137.9 proof. And the George T. Stagg 2024 is coming in at 136.1 proof. So very, very close in proof. But let's find out. Do you guys want to know? Do you want to know second or do you want to know first? Let me know in the chats now. Once we hit 5 for whatever one first, let me know. Let's see. Second or first? I'll keep count. Heartbroken Cowboys fan here sipping on some Weller 12. Nick, I'm sorry for you, brother. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Larry says first. I thought 24B was bitter also. As soon as you said bitter, the bells and sirens went off. I guess nobody wants to know. GTS. All right. First. I need a couple more. What do you want to know? First. And what do we got first? All right. In first place, as you guys can see, no dickery doing around. We had number 1 over number 4. And their respective letters are B and D. So B was in first and D was in second. Which means we had these two, obviously. Was it this way or was it this way? You guys will find out in 3, 2, 1. George T. Stagg 2024 came in first place, letter B. As you can see there, Stag Jr. store pick, letter D, as you guys can see, came in second place. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. What is this stag you speak of, he says. It is the stag of many, many men. New A said, what store pick is that from? This is Bourbon Street Wine and Spirits from Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Yeah, Jim Beam Red Stag. Andrew said, how was the Eagle 17? The Eagle Rare 17 was divine. Absolutely amazing. It's one of those low-proof whiskeys that can outdo a lot of high-proof whiskeys. And surprisingly enough, for the age and the proof, there is absolutely no bitterness whatsoever when it comes to that bottle of whiskey. It's incredible. My review will be out next Monday for the Eagle Rare 17, whereas today was the George T. Stagg 2024. But yeah, that Eagle Rare 17 is incredible. Alex says Eagle Rare 17 or George T. Stagg. I have to pick one. Man, that is tough. That question right there is so tough. I honestly think I'd have to go George T. Stagg only because we're getting the same mash bill. You're getting something that's 15 years old, and you're also getting it at non-chill filtered. Whereas that Eagle Rare 17, you're getting it chill filtered and you're getting it proofed down a significant amount. But the difference is you're getting a little bit more concentrate with those Eagle Rail barrels. Whereas the George T. Staggs, these were having roughly about 60 to 65% loss per barrel. And those Eagle Rares were in the 73 to 75% loss in those barrels because of that extra age. And I think that you're talking two different beasts, right? You're talking about something that's very well rounded, and the finish is something that was incredible about the Eagle Rare 17. That, at low proof, you can sit there and just ponder about life. Whereas the George T. Stagg kind of punches you in the face. And I think you got one. I'm not going to go too deep into the review of the Eagle Rare 17, but I will say this. There's a difference in a long finish on a high proof whiskey and a long finish of a low proof whiskey, and it's which of those two do you prefer? That's what I'll go at. Steve says proof always wins in his opinion. I before I had the Eagle Rare 17, Steve, I would agree with you. I would agree with you until I had the Eagle Rare 17. But in this case, Alex, to answer your question again, I think I'd have to go with George C. Stagg. I would in this particular question that you had for me. You guys can ask away on questions. Let's have a little bit of a Q&A. I'm all for it. I'm totally down for having some questions, having some fun, drinking some whiskey, and answering some of your questions because we got another whole year coming our way. Alex, I appreciate that. Neither answer was wrong. Paulo said, "Gotcha." Steve's a smart ass. He always is. I had a buddy get an Eagle Rare 17 last weekend from 2022. Kind of wild. That is kind of wild. Salty, that's a question that we all ask ourselves, and nobody will ever have the answer. Chris said, besides the Michter's 10 Bourbon and Michter's 10 Rye, what bottle are you most bummed that you didn't get this year? I was really trying to get the Old Fitzgerald VVS 13 year, the red bottle, the red label bottle, the distillery release only. Heard really, really good reviews about that thing, but obviously I don't live in Kentucky. I don't live anywhere near it. And secondary on that bottle is like $800 to $850, so I wasn't willing to spend that money on that bottle unless it just landed in my lap, which it didn't do, and I was bummed that I wasn't able to secure that bottle because a lot of people loved it. What's your fantasy barrel pick? Mark, my fantasy barrel pick would probably be... that's an interesting one. I'd probably go with like a Blanton's Gold, only because I think that the 103 proof on Blanton's is the perfect proof point on that. And I think that, when I do a blind with the Eagle Rare 17, I'm going to do it with a couple of different bottles. And I think the Blanton's Gold might be in that. I think it might be in that. How much would I spend on a GTS? I think that the max I would spend would probably be about $500. I think that for this kind of bottle, this is a bottle that you don't drink every single day. This is a bottle that, at least I don't drink it every single day. I don't know what you do, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. This is a bottle that you enjoy with a bunch of people. I think it's a bottle that would be a fun thing to go in on with a couple of guys. And, whether or not one guy gets to keep the bottle or you all split it in fifths or fourths or thirds or halves. I think it'd be a bottle that would be a fun thing to be able to go in on with a couple of guys and have, whether or not you spend $100 for a fifth of the bottle or whatnot, I still think it'd be worth it in my personal opinion. Keep talking about the goal, but it came in last in that blind. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's not my fault. I love it still. I can still love a bottle that came in last. What's my thoughts on the Little Book Infinite? Didn't have that bottle. Another bottle that I wanted to get, as well as the Booker's Reserves. Let me grab my chair now. I'm going to sit down. Sit down and answer some questions here. Get down on your level. Here we go. All right. So here he is. Cheers to you too, brother. Cheers, Major. But the Infinite and also the Booker's Reserve, both a little bit more on that pricey side. I think they probably were worth it. But then again, some of those, my barrel pick this year was a Booker's barrel, and I think it was a little bit of a different kind of Booker's barrel. It was a different flavor profile than what a traditional Booker's is. So it was definitely interesting to be able to pick that barrel. But my personal thoughts on Booker's for the youth of what Booker's traditionally is, I personally wouldn't go for it. But the little books, those are really interesting. I've enjoyed a couple of the ones that I've had as samples, but I can't really weigh in on the Infinite only because I didn't have that one, unfortunately. Brian said, "Have you had the Russell's Rickhouse CNF? It's on top of my list. I have not had that one. I had a sample of another one, but I can't quite remember which one it was. But those are incredible. Those are some really, really good bottles. But the price is what kills me on those. Those prices kill me. God. Here we go again. I'm going to name them both Jekyll and Hyde. How's that for you? Goodness gracious. What's my dream barrel pick? Paulo, so to go in on that, there's so many different barrels out there, right? You can have so much fun with it. I think my dream would probably be a Stag Junior pick. I think that's a lot of guys' dreams is to be able to pick a Stag barrel. Especially a hazmat, that would be freaking awesome. But right now, my first dream barrel is going to be that Blue Note pick. Just get it out of the way and do something fun, something different, something a little bit more cost effective, and get some more guys in the Patreon. That's my true hope and wish right now is to do that. Winston is in the house. Oh, goodness gracious. I see you have a lot of barrels. The brand, is there a standout? Are they worth it? There's such a range. So, barrel for me, I love barrel. Standouts for me so far were the Ice Wine finish, the Mizunara finish, barrel batch 31, 32, and 35. 33, 34, 36 were good. 30 was decent. 28 is good, but 31, 32, 35, if you're looking at batches, those three for me are the go-to. If you're looking for their finished products, the Mizunara and the Ice Wine finished are really, really good. Alex, I can't watch the Lions game at the moment because I'm obviously streaming on my phone, answering questions on here, but can somebody let me know what the score is of the game right now? Did it start? Yeah, we're looking at 9 o'clock, so we should be halfway through the first quarter probably. What's the score of the Lions game? Salty said he stopped buying barrel. Why is that? Lions just scored. Major, keep doing it, sir. Next time I'm in town, I'll have to message you for other stores to check out. We met at Bruzel Live at Old Dominic. That's cool that you guys met. That's really cool. You will know it when you see it. 14 to 12, okay. Barrel Ice Wine was fantastic. Yes, it was, Brian. It was wonderful. 13 to 14 Niners? Okay. Niners are up. Okay. All right. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Not worth the cheese? Okay. All right. I can get behind you on that. They are a little bit expensive. I do recommend going to Costco or Sam's Club. Sometimes those stores have them for like $70, $75, and I think that at that price point for what you're getting is a little bit better than like the $85, $90 that it sometimes is. Chris, Barrel Seagrass is incredible. That is for sure. For sure. I can do an Evernorth pick easily. I reached out to the Bourbon Junkies. They never got back to me. I wanted to do an Evernorth pick, but they never got back to me. I do need to get in contact again with, not Bourbon Outfitter, the other one, to figure out shipping and all kinds of stuff. But that's for once we get through the new year and stuff, and we get in that first week of January to figure out all that stuff for barrel picks and stuff like that. David said, wife just went to bed and I got to my stash spot and opened up a spirit store pick of Stag Jr. at 129.8 proof. Letting it breathe. I will let you know how it is. Dave, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that right now. Have you had any Detling, and if so, do you recommend it? I have not had any Detling before. Heard really good things about what Detling is. So from what I have heard, I would recommend it just from the people that I know that have had it, that I personally trust and also listen to and go off of what their recommendations are. There you go, John. I listen to John a lot. John is very true to his word, right? Uh, I had a pick. John said he didn't like it. That is what it is. He said it was one of his more approachable Wilderness Trail picks. But John doesn't like Wilderness Trail when I helped do a pick, and John didn't want it, and that's totally okay. And I appreciated his honesty about that. And John is one of those guys that I will listen to what he likes and his palate as well. Mike said bourbon junkies eat poo from their aquarium, allegedly. Who does not eat poo from their aquarium? Yes, Fiddler is also on my radar. That is for sure. Salty Johnny Thursdays is a legend. Yes, he is. Yes, John is an absolute legend. Oh, man. I definitely, and again, going off of the Fiddler, I definitely want to do a Fiddler pick for sure. Does anybody know in the chat when we're going to see the, God darn, I'm drawing a brain fart. The Jack Daniels 14 year, that was nowhere happened in 2024. Fiddler Toasted, definitely. How about a Sagamore pick? They're local. The Sagamore, not Livestream. The Sagamore, yes. Oh, he's coming. Don't forget, Bud, get your toy. Come on. You want to come say hi to the stream? Winston, come here. Come say hi to everybody. They want to see you. Say hi to everybody. Hi. What do you want to tell the people? Join the Patreon. Alright, go see your mom. You should work with Short Barrel. I hear they are very easy to work with. I've heard good things about Short Barrel. For sure. They got also, I think Barrel is doing half barrels for their picks, which is pretty cool. Some of the Coy Hill is slower proof. It was like that 121 and 123. JD14 is 125 proof. But my Coy Hill is 131. So I can see where you're coming from with that statement. So yeah, going back to Sagamore, that's where I am planning on doing the Patreon meetup. So want to do a meetup with the Patreons, trying to do a Sagamore. We're in cahoots and talking about it. So that's the plan, is Sagamore Patreon meetup. Salty is Einstein level smart. You're freaking funny. If he does a Sagamore pick, I'm down. If I end up doing a Sagamore pick, what the plan is definitely going to Sagamore to do it. And I'm also going to definitely be bringing a couple of people along the ride for that. So those close Patreons that want to do it with me, by all means, that's where we're going to go. But we've got a lot in the books and big plans, like I keep saying, for 2025. And I didn't want to say that we were doing a pick, but that's definitely in the works. Uh, I know you are, Steve. I know you are. I love rides in the Patreon. Niners just scored again. Let's go. Yeah, Paula, 2025 is going to be lit. We're going to have a little bit of a craziness in the beginning of the year for sure once the baby comes. But once that time frame starts to settle down, we'll get back into the thing of things. But I love seeing that the Niners are scoring and beating the Lions. It's a shame that the Vikings won yesterday, though. It's an absolute shame. I got a question for you guys. What do you want to see from the channel in 2025? As I keep saying, big plans, big fun things, reviews. I want to get more to a schedule. This year really didn't have a schedule going for it until the end of the year. If you guys were paying attention, we were doing a review on Mondays. Wednesdays were typically like a list, a tier list, blah, blah, blah. And Fridays were blinds. So that was kind of like the schedule I was sticking to. But I want to see what you guys are looking forward to in 2025. Do you want to see more hunting videos? Do you think that those don't really add much to the channel? Do you want to see me do more reviews of harder to find bottles? Do you want to see more reviews of shelf available bottles? Would you rather see reviews with not just one bottle in the video, but a couple of them, so that you can see more than just one bottle in a review per video? There's a lot of things that we can do. Monthly live streams, Paulo says, that's definitely in the works. I know I always say I want to do monthly live streams, I want to stick to that schedule. Really didn't happen this year, but 2025, I already have one planned for the end of January. I'm looking to do them the last Monday of every month. And we can also look into doing Patreon only live streams so that we can do some fun things over there as well. Give you guys the rundown of what we've got planned for the Patreon and stuff like that. But monthly live streams is definitely a thing that I'm looking forward to doing for sure. Salty said scheduled live streams. I think that's what Paula was talking about as well. Mike says more picks and Pyre Crust is literally one of my favorite bottles. Mike, that is definitely the plan for 2025. Do a couple more picks, get those out there, stuff like that. Mark said, so a video series based off all your samples. More raffles and stuff like that for sure. For the Patreon, we were doing the bottle raffle, stuff like that, where I get a bottle. It's a completely blind bottle. The Patreons don't know what it is. It's $10 for an entry, dependent on your tier of the Patreon. You get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 extra entries per that $10 that you enter into it. So I was getting some really cool bottles for the Patreon. I can't remember what I did the last time, but going into January, starting this year, looking to do one bottle a month moving forward, so we can do 12 different bottles for the Patreon bottle raffle. Also, this year, we are going to be doing the bottle raffle for Give Kids the World. So once I get all of the information that I need from Give Kids the World, we will be doing a bottle lottery, or not a raffle per se. I want to kind of do what Kurt and Trenton did with the lottery, where you get a ticket per entry. You get a ticket, so that way, no matter what, everybody has a fair chance of winning the bottle for that lottery for Give Kids the World. So that's going to be what my big fundraisers for this year. Since we hit 10,000 subscribers, we've got a following going and stuff like that. So I definitely want to do a big fundraiser this year, and Give Kids the World is definitely number 1 on my list. Young said, for sure, more hunting. Love to see what's around elsewhere. Patreon only weekly sample battles. Just random ideas here. I like that. definitely, I'm running low on samples here, guys. If you guys want to send me some samples, definitely send me an email. My email is going in the chat right now. So this is my email. If you want to send samples my way for the mystery blind sample box, by all means, send me an email. I'll give you all the information you need. You let me know what you're sending, and we can definitely get those samples sent, and we can get some more samples for the mystery blind box, because I love doing that stuff. Doing blind samples where we've got no idea what those samples are. She enjoys picking those samples and putting them in the box and pouring them for us, and it's a fun time. Steve, I appreciate that. Once I get more information, I know Salty wants to donate as well. Steve, you want to donate? I'm gonna go to a couple of liquor stores and stuff like that. Paulo, I appreciate you as well. We'll have a bunch of fun things for the fundraiser, and I can't wait to get that on written in stone, and we can get that going. But yeah, it should be a fun time for sure, and I can't wait. I've been saying it for 2 years now that I want to do this fundraiser. But now, this is the year we're doing it. This is the year. So if you guys want, you can get more information. If you want, I'll leave let's see, I'm gonna put the link to Give Kids the World in the chat just so you can see what it is. If you don't know what it is. Give Kids the World. Let's see, here you go. So I don't sound repetitive talking about what Give Kids the World is. This is what Give Kids the World is. It's an awesome organization that just gives back to a community that deserves way more than what me and you have. Salty says, when I win the Buffalo Trace Trio, I'll donate it to the fundraiser. Yeah, that right there is awesome, Salty. If you win. Going off of that, I'm going to be doing the drawing on Friday for that. So we hit the 10,000 subscribers. Want to give a couple more people, if they haven't seen it, a couple more days to get in on the giveaway. So once we hit Friday, I'll probably do the drawing, and I'll upload the video on Instagram. So whoever wins that, if you haven't seen it already, go check out the Instagram. Go comment, #EDD10K. Like and follow the Instagram. And Friday, you will see the winner of the Buffalo Trace Trio set. Mark says, serious question, what is the future for the whiskey room when it becomes the nursery? So, in our dining room, kitchen area, I have a nook that, it's nowhere near as big as what is behind me right now. But what will be in that nook will be this shelf, the same wall panels, the sign, the bar top, and the lighting will stay the same. The only thing that won't be in that nook is, unfortunately, the barrel won't fit behind me, and this shelf is going to be a smaller shelf. So it's going to be a little bit more condensed, but it will pretty much be the exact same layout that we have right now. Behind me, the only thing you won't see behind me is this shelf and the barrel, but you will still see everything else. David said, sorry, Salty, I'm winning it. We'll see who wins it. We are over. I gotta let you know how many people we've got in this thing. We've got over 550 entries on the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, which is insane. We're close to 600 entries, which is absolutely awesome. Very, very stoked for that. So good luck to all of you. Because I had people that didn't comment on the video. If they left a DM and I didn't see a comment from them, I also inputted them on the wheel. So Andrew, so go to your Instagram and just type in everyday drinker. I'll pop up. The first pinned post on the Instagram is the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Make sure you like that post and comment hashtag. I'll leave it in the comment here so you can just comment this EDD10K. So you can just copy that. Put that in the comment section, and you will be automatically entered. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. And it's that simple. It's that simple. Go to the Instagram, you're in. Spencer, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't do Instagram, you're fucked. Budget Barbecue said, love the video with Eric Lear. I loved doing that video, and I was kind of upset that it didn't do as well as I was hoping it would do. For some reason, it just did not fall in the algorithm. But it is what it is. Sometimes some videos just don't get the publicity and the love that they deserve, and that was one of those videos that, you know, I didn't want the publicity and love for myself. I wanted it for Eric because, man, what he's doing is absolutely spectacular. And not just his bourbon is great, but he as a person is great for sure. Nick said, I don't have Instagram. Can I put it on MySpace? AOL or AIM would be better, Nick. MySpace, not so much. Make sure you send me a message on AIM, and I'll get in contact with you. Oh, goodness gracious. Awesome. Thank you for entering. Awesome. Spencer, it's not pointless. It's mindless debauchery. Oh man, you guys are hilarious. What are we closing in on? 9:30. So we do this every time. We do this at the end. If you guys want to see a blind, you guys know what bottles I have behind me. Make sure you want to see a head-to-head. Go ahead and donate any amount of money. Let me know in that donation what you want to see as a head-to-head, and we'll do a quick little blind. So if you want to donate anything, let me know. Put that up there and put what bottles you want to see in a head-to-head, and I'll definitely do it. I'll do it. Spencer says, I get the same bullshit on Facebook and I hardly go there anymore. I get you. I think Facebook is honestly worse than Instagram. Instagram actually has some interesting things. This one is the George T. Stagg. It's good. It's really good. I see a lot of people coming up on my Instagram on my phone. You guys are awesome. Joining in on there. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to leave the link to the Patreon as well. So whoever is in here that has been contemplating doing it, like I keep saying, a lot of the guys in this chat are in the Patreon. So make sure you guys, if you've been contemplating doing it, $2 a month, you get it on there. What store pick was your Stag Junior pick from? Chris, this was Bourbon Street Wine and Spirits is where that store pick was from. Do Patreon followers get a second entry? Now that's an interesting take. I'm going to say no, only because this is a YouTube only thing. The Patreons do get a lot of extra incentives, but for this is strictly and solely for just being a subscriber on the YouTube. Not a bad idea, but a lot of other things I do for YouTube and stuff like that, the Patreons get a lot of other incentives, you know. But for this, I solely want to just give back for being a subscriber to the YouTube channel, if you understand what I'm trying to say there. It's nothing against being a Patreon, but like I said, I just want to be genuine and true to the just being a subscriber is all. But I like the question. It was a good question. It really was. Thanks, Salty. I appreciate you being understanding. This is a deep question. What has been your favorite bourbon of all time? Stan, that's a really good question. That's a really, really good question. Um, Looking back, I've only been doing this bourbon journey for, I'm looking at probably 4 years. My first bottle was Jack Daniels, and then we get the Four Roses and stuff like that. Um, it's really hard to like pick a bottle as my favorite bourbon of all time, but I think my favorite bourbon of all time was a Blue Note pick that I got down in Dallas, Texas. It was 124.6 proof or something along those lines. And that was the first bottle that I had gotten that was, over 120 proof that was absolutely delicious. And it was just absolutely just insane what I could appreciate that whiskey for the first time because I was slowly and just introducing higher proof whiskeys, and that was that bottle that just made me fall in love with high proof whiskey. And I have to give it to that store pick, that Blue Note pick from Dallas, Texas, which again was another tornado barrel. And I got that bottle for like $36, and you can't pass that up. Can't pass that up. David said the Spirit store pick is a cola bomb. Now that sounds wonderful, Dave. I love that. I love that for you. That's awesome. Mark said, just the FYI, the Whiskey Vault with 447,000 subscribers did a review of Eric LeGrand's whiskey. No way. That's crazy. Wow. So that's Daniel, if I'm not mistaken. That's absolutely awesome. I might have after this. I might have to go watch that to see what he had to say about it, because that's absolutely wonderful. Exactly. When we hit 10,000 followers on Patreon, we can have a draw over there. I like that. That mindset right there is what we need more of. But I don't want to have 10,000 followers on Patreon. That's just so much to handle as a person and try and make everybody happy. But if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to complain about it. Yes, please, Mark, drop the link. That's freaking amazing. My buddy has an unopened Stag Junior pick with the same exact proof. He won via the St. Peter's Prep Gala, so wondering if it's the same barrel. I don't know if there's any information. Do you know if your buddy's sticker is just the regular Sazerac sticker, or if it's a store sticker or whatnot? If you want, you can ask your buddy if it's the same laser code as mine. Mine starts with L223410. That's my laser code there, Chris. Ask your buddy if it's the same sticker and if that laser code matches. You never know. It could be. So we're down to, I've got this glass here. This was 4. This was D, which was the store pick. And this has been sitting in the glass for quite a while now. Secondary on it is $800. Holy cow! I know secondary on a lot of store picks is hazmat store picks are like 3 to 350. $800. That's insane. But yeah, give your buddy that laser code. The laser codes on these are right under the back label. Can somebody give me the score of the football game? Did Mike disappear? Man, going back to that thing, it definitely deserves second place after drinking those other three. It's darn good. Thanks, Tom. 1321 San Francisco. Love seeing that. Man, as much as I hate San Francisco for being the Red Cowboys, I do love seeing the fact that it's a possibility. Because I think looking at the road for this, I do think that this is showing, just looking at this, Detroit really can't play against a good defense. I don't know. You shoot me down on that one, but I'm looking at what that score is, and that's my take on it. Beach Sand and Bourbon, congratulations on the 10K. I'm still trying to hit my first 1K. Man, it's once you hit that 4 digits, that 1K mark, man, I do think that hitting 1,000 subscribers almost means more than 10,000. And I'll give you my explanation on why that is. Because to get to your 1,000 mark, it's a grind, it's a hustle. And you are working day in and day out on how can I differentiate myself to this entire just like whiskey world, right? Like when I got into this thing, it wasn't so saturated. Like 3 years ago, once January 28th, I think, is my 3 year mark. And back then, there were a bunch of channels out there, but I think today there are a boatload of channels out there, and it's almost like it's kind of like crazy to think about how many channels there are. Excuse me. But man, keep grinding, keep pushing, keep going. Don't stop. Just keep uploading. Whether you want, it's a video you think is gonna get views, don't think is gonna get views. It doesn't really matter what that is, because some of those videos that you don't think are going to get views get more views than the videos you think are going to get more views. And it's all about the grind. Just keep grinding. And once I do think that 1,000 subscriber mark is more humbling than the 10,000 subscriber mark. But it's all about the journey, and if you want to keep going and going and going. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't stop. Whatever you're doing, keep on going. You got this. It is hard work. It is hard work, but it pays off in the long run. I'll tell you that right now. And it's an awesome feeling. And I appreciate and love every single subscriber I get every single day, and I try my best to make every single one of them happy. And you can't make every single one of them happy. That's the one thing you gotta understand. You're not gonna make everybody happy. You're gonna get those comments that are derogatory, or the ones that kind of fight back on what you're talking about. You're gonna get the dislikes, but you got to look past those. That's the most important thing. Looking past the hate, because you're gonna get 2% hate and 98% love. And as a YouTuber, you're gonna understand this. You look at the hate more than the love, when you got to look at the love more than the hate. Volume and constant upload schedule helps with a YouTube channel. It really does, Steve. It really, really does. Whether or not you upload once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, or every day of the week, a schedule is so important, because that gives your viewership something to look forward to throughout the week. And if you're uploading this week on Monday and the next week on Wednesday and the following week on Tuesday, there's no consistency to it. So that's the one thing that I will say that Steve is 100% correct on this. Have an upload schedule, whether it's one video a week, 2 or 3. You got to stick to a schedule. That is the most important thing in my personal opinion. And being yourself. Just be yourself. That's all you got to be. Don't be anybody else. Exactly, Mark. For me, the last video I did, not today's video, but Friday's video, had a lot of hate on it. A lot of hate. And the way I combated the hate is I went at it and I killed that hate with kindness. I had a lot of people saying, "Oh, you didn't go bourbon hunting. You went and picked up a bottle and blah, blah, blah." The way I combated that was, hey man, it's all love, whether or not I went and picked up a bottle and I went bourbon hunting before, so whether or not you believe I did that or not, it's not how I interpret it. But if that's how you're interpreting it, then by all means you're correct. And you just gotta kill them with kindness. Kill the hate with kindness. That's how you gotta do it. All right, so we do a Fresh Crack Friday video every Friday at 8 p.m. Okay. Beach sand and bourbon. So what I recommend is the biggest thing that I looked at when I changed my upload time from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock is I looked at my viewership. When were more people tuning into the channel? I'm not saying that 8 o'clock is too late or if it's too early or whatnot. What I want you to do is I want you to look at your viewership and when people are tuning into your channel. If people are tuning into your channel at 8 o'clock and you're getting that spike in views at 8, by all means, keep doing it at 8 o'clock. But if you're seeing that people are looking at your channel a little bit earlier, a little bit later, tailor your upload time to that. And that right there, when you get that spike in viewership, that's what sends your video into the algorithm a little bit more, and you'll see a little bit more of an engagement in your videos. I also recommend commenting back to a comment within the first hour. That keeps the engagement going on the videos and stuff like that. So it's very important to keep engagement going. You don't have to comment back to every comment, but if you're getting 2 to 10 comments a video, keep commenting on those. It's very, very important in my personal opinion. Rainbows, thank you so much. Hope you have a happy New Year as well. Tomorrow is going to be a crazy one. Got work, and it's going to be a fun one. We're cracking champagne for all the employees and stuff like that. And, we've got 2 seatings tomorrow. We've got one from 4 to 7, which is a $95 prefix menu. And then from, 3 to 6, and then 7 to 11 is $150 prefix menu. At 11:30, I tell all of my customers, and I go to their table, I say, I'm going to the bar. I'm going to have a glass of champagne, and I'm going to watch this ball drop. You guys can come out there and join me, or you can sit out here and be by yourself and have no server. That's up to you. And I go out to the bar, I watch that ball drop, I have fun with my friends, and whether or not that table has a server or not for a half hour, I don't give a flying fladoodle. Our video blew up from last night compared to most of our videos. Had my wife on and did a top 10 of 2024. That again, the 2024 top 10s and stuff like that. That's going to get you out there, and that's a big video. That's a video that I definitely recommend for all those smaller channels to do. Do top 10s. Do those lists. Get those lists out there. Get your channel out there and stuff like that. Let people know what you're looking for. I'm gonna put the link in for the Patreon as well. On in the Discord and stuff like that. I allow other channels and stuff to put their videos out there. So if you want to join the Patreon, leave your links for your videos and stuff like that on there. By all means, go for it. My Discord is open range for a lot of things. for that a lot of other channels don't do, and I look for I try and help other people as well. You know, Doc Old Fashioned Ways puts all of his videos, all of his live streams and stuff like that. And I have no problem with that. You just gotta ask me if it's okay for you to put it up there. But by all means, I look for other channels and their growth and their drive and their dignity to increase, and I love that. Olivia Farino, what is she doing in here? I have no. Should we ban Olivia Farino from the chat, ladies and gentlemen? I think you should let me know what we should do about this person in here, because I don't know. I don't know who Olivia Farino is. She's a crazy woman, I think. I think Olivia Farino is a crazy person. She still hasn't changed her last name on YouTube either. Nah, she's... The only one that kicks people out is Salty, and I ain't doing shit. I remember when you were hitting their first 500. I've been a sub for a while. Man, I appreciate that. That going back to what we were doing back then, I just look back. I look back at my videos every so often and just think about like where we were. Like the first like 25, 30 videos, we were in a kitchen. We were drinking whiskey in a kitchen. I had my faucet right here and just some bottles behind me, a couple bottles on the island next to me, and you know, it's crazy to think about where we came from, and we went from literally 5 bottles to over 200 bottles of whiskey, and it's just it's crazy to think about right now. It's really, really crazy. Oh man. What is going on? I'm good, always hungry, so eating dinner number 2 right now. I wouldn't be surprised if she has dinner number 3 for the baby in about, what, an hour? Because that baby is always hungry. Chris Kager, 10K, gotta love it. And it's all because of you guys. Thank you guys so much. Tom says, I wish I screenshotted channel sub numbers when I sent out samples. A little old-fashioned has exploded in numbers in a super short time. It's great to see such progress. That's all. I love seeing channels just get the love that they deserve. I don't know the channel's name. I watch them every so often. It's a husband or a wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend. Around the Barrel, I think it is, something along those lines. But they're a fun channel to watch. They upload some fun videos. I don't know how they get the viewership that they do from the titles and thumbnails and stuff like that, but they've got a following, and that right there is what they've got going for them, and I'm happy for them. Remember that time that Bobby Boucher helped the Mud Dogs win the Bourbon Bowl? Oh my God, we're talking about Bobby Boucher. Has my local store in Brick, New Jersey reached out to you? Forbes? No, David, I have not gotten any emails or texts or phone calls from Forbes. On the Barrel, yes, I think that's what it is. A younger couple, just a barrel with a couple of bottles behind them. I don't even think they upload in 1080p. I think it's 720p. But it's all about the personality and stuff like that. And that's what they've got, a great following for sure. I heard Salty is stinky. I heard that too. I really did. I did. On the Barrel whiskey. Yes. They are a hoot. They go back and forth with each other, and it's great. You know, and that's the thing. Like for me, I subscribe to channels. I like videos. I never comment. I never comment. I used to comment all the time. For me, I just like to sit back, relax, watch videos, and see what people have to offer. And they're one of those channels of 2024 that I really fell in love with. They do some awesome stuff. David, I showed them your videos. He was jacked. Well, I'm always down to do some stuff. I mean, if you want to send him my email and stuff like that, and I can do a bourbon hunting video and stuff like that, I'll go to a store and show up what he's got. If he's got store picks and stuff along those lines, I'll definitely do it for him. Because that's how I got the love from Circle Liquors. My man Jordan over there, absolute awesome guy. Nick over at Adelphia's, Ivan over at Adelphia's. You know, it's all about just relationships. You know, you scratch their back, they're going to scratch your back and stuff along those lines. And, you know, that's what I'm all here for, you know, whether or not I got to, you know, do a hunting video for somebody and stuff like that. They want some help. I'm here for it. I kind of think that's valid, Salty. I believe it. Who's your favorite whiskey YouTube collab? So I've only collaborated with SLB, which was absolutely amazing. To answer that question, is Kurt from SLB as nice as he seems? Kurt in person is nicer in person than he is on videos. Kurt is the most genuine human being you will ever meet in your life. Absolute awesome guy that, you know, I was talking to Kurt the other day. I was wishing him a Merry Christmas. We were texting back and forth for a little bit. Kurt is so nice, and Trenton on camera is the exact same person off camera that he is on camera. It's dopey as hell, funny as hell. And, you know, those two on camera are exactly what you would imagine they would be in human. And it's hilarious to see. It's great. Kurt seems like American's dad. That's funny as hell. That's so funny. And Tom can attest to that. Kurt in person is truly that nice. Basically, what you see is what you get. 100% there, Paulo. It's 100% true. Don't forget the collab with Whiskey Cove. Patrick is a good dude. Yeah, when me and Patrick were going back and forth, he's an absolute awesome guy. You know, there are those people that, you know, I was going back and forth with. You know, in the beginning, we were doing videos with the Minor Bros, Matt and Pat. Still awesome guys. Whether they want to do collaborations or whatnot, it totally up to them. I wish all the best to them. Josh from Your Drinking Buddy, awesome guy. You know, Doc Old Fashioned Ways, awesome human being. There are a lot of awesome people in this whiskey YouTube community that, you know, I love and cherish our relationships like you wouldn't believe. I've never heard of this SLB. Jackson, congrats, bro. We were your honeymoon neighbors, LOL. Hope all is well. Been keeping up. Hey, what's going on? Oh, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Hope all is well with you as well. How has everything been with you? Oh, my God, that's crazy. That's so long ago. Honeymoon neighbors, man. Crazy to think the honeymoon was a year and a half ago, and we've got a baby coming. Oh, my God. I'm everyone's drinking buddy. Yes, the zombie pours, if anybody doesn't know what a zombie pour is, it's fill your Glencairn 9/10 of the way up just so it doesn't spill out of the glass. That right there is a zombie pour, and you will enjoy every second of it. I think I've got one sip left of this 2024 in here. We're doing well. Crazy. It's been over a year building up my collection. Trying to keep. We'll see if you can keep up with me. We'll see. We had a fun time on the honeymoon. That's for sure. Drinking a lot of good stuff. That was a fun time. Punny pour? What do you mean by this, Salty? Punny pour? Oh, puny pour. We've seen it. Want to see the zombie pours? Join the Patreon. Exactly. Paulo is attesting to the zombie pours. We need to get you another pour. Well, Mark I told everybody. If you guys want to see a head-to-head, leave a tip. I'll do a head-to-head. Just finished off that. I'm going to go fill this up. I'll be right back. You guys talk in the chat. I'll be right back. What? Weller foolproof. I have 3. I'm going back in. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. You guys are trying to get the wife to come in here and make a couple of picks. Yeah, she's in bed. She's not getting out of bed. Paula says, how many Weller foolproofs do I have? I've got 3. We need a battle of Weller foolproof right now. Head-to-head tip money. All right, beach sand and bourbon. What do you want to see the head-to-head all 3 of my Weller foolproofs? I will do it. FLX beer reviews. Cheers, man. Love the content. Thank you so much for the love and support. All right, Beach Sand and Bourbon said yes for all 3 Weller foolproofs. Mark Yale said Disco 11-12 versus Old Fitz 13. I don't have those. You know I don't have those. Why are you saying that? I'm doing the all 3 of the Weller foolproofs. So let me grab those 3, and then Mark, yeah, you contemplate what you want to change, because you know I don't have any of the discos. I can't get any of them in Jersey. And then if I did, I wish I could. All right, so we've got a regular Weller foolproof, no, not a store pick. Let me put these back. Got that there. This is the store pick. This is the regular. But I do want to say thank you so much for the love and the $20. It truly, truly impresses me. Paula says, Weller foolproof battle right now. Okay, all right. We've got the Weller foolproof battle coming. Don't yell at me. All right, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me grab the Lazy Susan. Oh. All right, there's that. You guys are making me run around like crazy. Mark said, okay, enjoy Larceny B524 versus Rare Breed. That would actually be a very interesting blind. I think I would be able to tell the 2 out only because Rare Breed is so different, and Larceny typically drinks a little bit sweeter. But I do think that those two would be a fun blind. I don't know where my marker is. There's my marker. Right, let me grab. Yeah. All right. So I grabbed the Rare Breed for after this one. So let's do this real quick. Let's get this here. So A, B, C, A, B, C. All right, so we've got ABC written. So one of my picks is an Adelphia's pick. Like I said, this one is just a regular Weller foolproof. And then this bottle here is the Circle Liquors pick. All of them are 114 proof. There is not one any different than the other. Let me double up these stickers just so you don't. I can't see the difference. So I've got the Adelphia's pick is going to be A. I'll put that on the bottom of the bottle. I'm going to have my regular foolproof as B. Philadelphia got a pick. No, Adelphia, not Philadelphia. Spencer, you make me crazy in some ways, and I don't know what to do with you sometimes. All right, so Adelphia's, and for some reason I have another B on here, so there's that. All right, so these two are done. Next up is the other Weller foolproof. I'm really interested to see this one. This is a fun one because if you guys remember on the one video we did, I did this with Andrew. And it was before I got the third or the second Weller foolproof single barrel. And he really did like the one bottle a little bit more than the other one. And I did not think that that was a possibility. And I put that on the side of the bottle without knowing. So put that on the bottom. So the bottoms of these are all different, which is interesting. So here we go. All right. So move these bottles over so that you guys can see them there. Move that over. Put these on the Lazy Susan. Let's spin these around a little bit, right? Get these going. KBF and Bourbon on the Banks will be awesome in 2025. Gotta sleep, Nathan. Still working the day job in the morning. Criminals don't rest. Congrats again. Tom, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. You have a wonderful sleep and have a great day tomorrow. All right, brother? No run, just drink to play catch up. Colorado is great for basic Buffalo Trace, and occasionally we get MSRP for Eagle Rare and EH Taylor that make up for fair prices on those with crazy prices on Stag. I totally get you on that. I totally get you. Paulo said, when did they get a pick? I wish I was there more often than I do. Nick got his pick. He picked this barrel back in like July. I helped him decide on which one he liked the most. He brought back a couple of samples and I told him which one I liked the most, but he had already picked it. But then he released this pick. Golly, when did he release this pick? A couple weeks ago as like a trio set. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Put this bad boy down here. We've got 3 Weller foolproofs in the house. 2 picks, 1 regular offering. I really do think that the regular offering is actually a little bit harder to come by than store picks. I see a lot of store picks rather than regular offerings on these bad boys here. All right, so let's start on our left here. We usually start on our right, but we're gonna go left. Nice sweet nose. Nose in the middle is a little bit darker. One on the right has a really nice honey graham crackery note. Really, really interesting. I on the nose, I do think we go right, middle, left as like my favorites. The one on the left here kind of has a little bit of an off-putting note that I can't quite say what it is. I don't quite know what that off-putting note is. Like kind of like a wet oak note in a way, maybe. Where almost it kind of leans into almost like a chlorine note. I don't know why I'm getting a chlorine note like that, the pool cleaner in a way. The one in the middle is it's sweeter. It brings in a little bit more of a robustiness to it. And then the one on the left kind of gets a little darker. This is kind of reminding me of something that's not a wheated bourbon and a little bit darker and richer and a little bit more refined in a way, whereas those wheated bourbons come off a little sweeter and easier and more pleasant. But this is kind of reminding me of a rye bourbon rather than a wheated bourbon. Mark, what's the score of the game then? Beach Sand and Bourbon said, I've never seen a Weller foolproof for less than 400. I landed my first ever Weller 12 a month ago. You know, I've been fortunate. You know, the first Weller, this Weller here, the regular non-store pick, I traded with Josh, one of the Patreons, for a Old Forester single barrel proof rye. Awesome trade. He got something he wanted. I got something I wanted. This Weller I picked up from Circle Liquors, MSRP. They released their barrel earlier this year. This was an MSRP bottle. And then the Weller Foolproof from Adelphia's, $100 cash out the door. Can't complain, you know. These three bottles are all great in their own way. But let's go into the palette of the one on the left here. And then we will do middle and right. Tom Gallagher said, first bottle I ever won was a Weller Foolproof at a raffle. That's awesome. That's a great bottle to win at a raffle for sure. 28-21 San Fran. I love seeing that. Young said he won his fantasy championship. I unfortunately got second place yesterday. Both of our teams finished yesterday. And Sam Darnold is the factor, the X factor in how I lost yesterday, which was an absolute shame. Devontae Smith went off. Jacoby Myers put up some points. T. Higgins, man, dropped a boatload of points for me yesterday. But at the end of the day, I had Geno Smith drop 7 points. Ramondre Stevenson dropped 0.1 points. And that was the killing factor for me was Ramondre Stevenson and Geno Smith, because I had Jalen Hurts as my starting quarterback, but couldn't play him yesterday because he was in concussion protocol. Really, really good. Almost too sweet in a way, but you know, going from a rye bourbon to a wheated bourbon, it's a big difference. It's a big difference, and I think that the way you want to go about drinking your whiskey, if you think about these things, is if you're going to go back and forth between these two, I think you start with a wheated bourbon and then you move into the rye bourbon, and then work your way farther into rye. Because that first sip there was sweet. Quick question: is 130 way too much for a Weller Red Label? Porky. That's a good question. That's a hard question to answer because secondary on these things is like 100, 110. Um, and for me, I personally think that the Weller Antique 107 might be my personal favorite Weller bottle. And I think that 130 bucks you might be spending a little bit too much. At 100, 110, I think, you know, it's worth it at that price because this is a 60, $65 bottle we're talking about, right? And you're doubling that price at 130. Um, I personally wouldn't go 130, but I would go 100 to 110. So if you're willing to spend that extra 20 bucks that I'm not, by all means go for it. Exactly, beach sand bourbon, that's a tough call. Like I said, 100, 110 is the max I would go. At that extra 20 bucks, are you willing to shell that out? That's your call. Chris says 130 on a Weller foolproof or on a Weller 107 store pick is fine, but not for a regular price. I kind of agree with you on that. There was a store in my area that did a 107 pick at 180, and I was like, I can't do that. It's too much. Score is 21-28. Now both teams looking like they will score 40 plus. That's a good football game on a Monday night. That's a game we all want for Monday nights and Thursday nights. Thursday night games usually are poopy, and Monday night games are usually those games that are like an okay game. But this one, it's seeming like it's a good one to watch. I got a basket of Weller at a local store for 500 with Weller Special Reserve, 107, 12, and single barrel. That is a good for that price for those bottles. I think that is well worth it for for Special Reserve, 107, 12, and single barrel. At the single barrel alone, if you didn't open it and wanted to resell it, you can get all your money back plus some. Okay, yes, it's secondary. I'll see if they'll take. Yeah, that's the what's the worst they can say is no. If you offer them 110 for it, the worst they can say is no. The best they can say is yes, and then you get a bottle for a little bit off. Exactly. For me at 500 for that basket, I might do it. That's not a bad gig. Prices coming down a little. Nothing wrong with negotiating. Exactly. Beach Sand and bourbon. You can always negotiate. All right, let's get into the second one here. Tastes hotter. Tastes hotter than the first one. But not as overly sweet as the first one. Guys, I need to say this. There's nothing wrong with asking a store if they would bring their price down. You can negotiate a little bit. Always ask. It's cash king. You know, if they have a bottle that you're looking for this price, ask would you do this price with cash. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. When stores update, put a price up at secondary or above secondary, that right there in itself is a cause for you asking, can you bring that price down? You can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. They're going down to score three Weller 12s at MSRP. That's great. That's absolutely wonderful. And if they're scored three Weller 12s at MSRP, you can definitely bring that price of the Weller 107 down as well. Let's get to the palette of three. Three on the nose was my favorite. Let's see if it's my favorite on the palette. Oh yeah, this is number three on the palette is the most rounded off. There's no spiky features on this, whereas number one was just overly sweet. Number two here was a little bit too hot, like it was hotter than the proof itself. But the third one here, very, very easy and soft on the edges. Finish is still going. Really, really nice. Almost a little bit more viscous and chewable in a way. Really, really nice. Never had them say that they would lower price. I've asked, but you've asked. You've asked the question, and there's nothing wrong with asking that question. I've asked the question a couple of times at a couple of stores in my area. I've gotten the yes and the go ahead once, and it doesn't hurt to just ask. Just go out of your way and ask the question. Congratulations again on 10K. I'm out, gonna be up early. Good night and keep up the great work. Beach Shannon Bourbon, good luck to you. Congratulations on everything that you have accomplished for this year. And here is your quest to 1,000 subscribers as well. Have a great night, brother. 28-24 San Fran right now. Keep on going, San Fran. Keep on going. Hey, of course, brother, of course. I'm gonna give the win to the one on the right, and I think that I have to give the one on the left second. So third place is going to be this one here. It's good, but it brings a little bit of sharpness and just like bite on the tip of my tongue that I'm not the biggest fan of. So, letter B is third place, which means letter B is not that one. It is this one. It is the regular Weller Foolproof. Regular Weller Foolproof got third place, which means our two store picks got either first or second. So let's go back. Let's see. Our second place was A, which means that Adelphia's pick got second place, which was the really sweet one. And then the best one out of the bunch was letter C, which is the Circle Liquors pick. As you guys can see there, C matching up. Good blind. Really, really fun. Really, really crazy to see that these three are so vastly different. And I'm gonna have to reach out to Buffalo Trace and give them the two barrel informations on these two stickers and see the differences in where these two barrels came from, because they are vastly, vastly different, which is really cool, really interesting, and I love to see that from these three Weller Foolproofs. But we've got another blind to do. We've got another head-to-head. We've got rare breed. I'm low on this rare breed. It is low as could be. And then I think it was the B524, which obviously is a little bit higher in proof. Alan says, congrats, I remember those kitchen videos. Alan, crazy, crazy times where we've come from, I mean, we've gone from kitchen to one shelf behind us to, being in the living room to going to a bourbon room and then having to get out of the bourbon room for a good cause. Not because we have to, but because we want to. We've got a baby on the way, which fortunately, not unfortunately, takes precedent and he gets his own room. Steve, it is time for a new rare breed, but we went through this bottle quickly, so it's not like this bottle is going to be different than what it should be. Stop it with the twins. Stan, oh yeah, looking forward to this blind. You were one of my favorites. Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that. All right, let me hit the bathroom, grab 2 glasses. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Is it worth going the step up from the bottle above rare breed? What do we mean? What do we mean by that? Is it worse going the step up from the bottle above rare breed? What do we mean by that, Young? A, B, A, B. Lions with the interception. Uh-oh. Brock Purdy, he's losing his touch. Excuse me. All right, so let me take this sticker off of the back of this bottle. All right, so A. Oh, Kentucky Spirit. You're talking about the single barrels that they've got? The 101 proofers? I don't know if those are better or worse. The thing about rare breed is that these are supposedly 8 and 9-year-old barrels at 116.8 proof. That's always nice to know. I mean, is that always going to be the case? I don't know. All right, so A is going to be rare breed. B is going to be larceny. The proof on these is somewhat similar. It's not the closest thing in the world. I do tend to find that the rare breed drinks a little bit hotter, and some larcenies do drink a little bit lower than their proof. So we'll find out if that's the case here. Totally. But at the end of the day, I've got absolutely no idea. We're going to find that out right now. So larceny was B. We've got these two bad boys going head to head. Put these here. Grab my Lazy Susan. Move that bottle actually first. Glasses are the absolute same. Nothing different. Let's spin a couple times, right? Yes, I agree, Steve. Rare breed is definitely better than Kentucky Spirit. Have you noticed the difference in rare breed between the old and new label? No. I was at a buddy's house and he had the new label of the rare breed, and I don't notice a difference. I don't think there is a difference in the two. I just think they changed the label to be a little bit more modern, whereas this one looks like it's an older style bourbon label. You can definitely taste a difference and know that there's a difference in the Old Forester Kentucky or Whiskey Row series with the 1897, the 1910, 1920. You can definitely taste a difference in those. You know that there's a difference in those whiskeys. These have definitely been spun enough. I've got no idea what we've got going on here. But going on the rare breeds, I don't think that there's a difference in the whiskey that they're putting in those bottles. I really don't. So we've got Larceny B524, and we've got the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Both of these, color-wise, absolutely the same. Absolutely the same. Steve said, I heard that rare breed non-chill filtered is really good, better than the regular. I've heard that it's really good as well. Those are duty-free releases only, and European bottles or something along those lines. We don't get those in Jersey or in the States here, which is unfortunate. But nonetheless, it is what it is. We say it all the time with like Blanton's releases and stuff like that. Like some of those other really cool Blanton's bottles, those are duty-free and releases for Japan and stuff along those lines. So it's unfortunate, but I understand it in a way, but it still sucks. How much do I have to donate for you to do a zombie pour of one of your top shelvers? Well, You have to let me know what top shelfer you want me to do a zombie pour of, and then I'll let you know. Paulo, I had the same exact like mind like problem happen in my head. It was just an O. Like he wants me to do O. Oh man. This one is earthy, earthy, earthy. It's I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say that this right here, this one that is on my left, you're right, is the wild turkey. It's got that turkey funk. It's got Salty said, "What the fuck, Spencer?" Nicholas is saying, "What is a zombie pour?" A zombie pour on live stream. Spencer, you need to let me know what bottle you are thinking about me doing a zombie pour of, and I will let you know if it's a yes or a no. Stan, you are right. Rare Breed is one of the best chill filtered or not. It really is. At 116.8 proof, you can't go wrong with that. You really, really can't. You've got a sample. You can send a sample of Rare Breed non chill filtered. That would be awesome, Philip. That would be absolutely awesome. Yes, Josh, you are 100% correct. He definitely needs to change his name back to Chief Heavy Pour. I totally agree with that. Do I have a favorite version of the different Blanton's releases? Yes, my personal favorite is definitely going to be the Blanton's Gold. I think at 103 proof, it's the best bang for your buck for proof, age, flavor wise. You're jumping up in price for the straight from the barrel, which it varies in price and proof and stuff like that. 93 proof for $75 versus 103 proof for like 120, $130. These are MSRP prices, MSRP prices that I'm talking about specifically. I think that Blanton's Gold is your best bang for your buck. Yes, Salty. Over straight from the barrel, 100%. I do think that you are getting a little bit better bottle. I think that at MSRP for a barrel proof bottle of bourbon from Buffalo Trace, you are way better off going for Stag Junior over top of Blanton straight from the barrel. You're getting the same pretty much proof point, but you're spending $100 less. You're getting their mash bill one, which is a little bit sweeter, a little bit more approachable and favorable. Whereas that Blanton straight from the barrel, sometimes those barrels are because they're single barrels. You can get an absolute dud muffin, and with the Stag Junior barrel proof mash bill number one, you're getting something that has been tasted and tested and batched to what they think is a reasonable and approachable, favorable flavor profile. 30-28 Detroit now. Oh snap! Craftier perfect butt scratcher. What are we talking about? So I'm not saying straight from the barrel is not delicious. Every single sample I've had of a straight from the barrel has been absolutely incredible. But I do think that your best bang for your buck for Blanton's is the gold. I got it straight from the barrel, and I'm pissed it's only 121 proof. See, that's the one thing that you got to understand from these. Like, you can get some that are on over 130 proof, and some that are nearly 120 proof, and that's the case right there. Like, that's crazy. I do think that the one on the right is a little bit better than the one on the left. That's not going to say. I'm just going to say that this one here, I believe, is the wild turkey. This one here is the larceny. It's just a little bit more rich and just adds a little bit more punch and flavor than the one on the left. Philip said, I tried a local gold pick and it was bomb. Best blends I've ever tried. straight from the barrel comes off hot for me. I can see where the straight from the barrel can come off hot for sure. Josh said, I've seen 2 straight from the barrels. Both were 128 proof. Wow, okay. All right. See, and that's where the differences lies. I just think that 103 proof Blanton's Gold is just really, really just like top notch, really good proof point. It's on the lower end of what I like to drink, but it's packed full of flavor. It's really, really good. Spencer says, everyone says Booker's drinks hot. Never has for me. Booker's definitely, in my personal opinion, definitely drinks hot. Whether or not it's in that like mid 120s proof, I think that they tend to drink in that like mid to lower 130 proof. It's not like it's an over exaggerated like proof point, but they definitely drink probably 5 to 10 points higher than what they typically are. Yeah, Salty, I agree with you. Booker's definitely drinks hot. All right, Mark. Happy New Year to you as well. Nikki, did I miss what batch larceny this is? This is larceny batch B524, blinded against Wild Turkey Rare Breed. And my personal opinion, I think that the one on the right here is a little bit better, and I personally think that it's the larceny. The one on the left here has a little bit more of that Wild Turkey funk to it. And obviously, I think that this one is the Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Chris says, Booker's drinks to its proof, whether or not you call that hot is up to the individual. I get what you're saying with that. I can understand that. But Happy New Year, Mark. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening. But yeah, I did think that the funk would stand out for sure, Salty. I really, really did. So let's find out. I do think the one on the right is the better one, so I'm going to find out what the one on the left is here first. And that is letter A, which means that, yes, we've got Wild Turkey Rare Breed A to A. And we've got the Larceny Barrel Proof B524 coming in with letter B to letter B. So there you guys have it. That does not go to say that the Wild Turkey Rare Breed is a bad bottle whatsoever. I still, to this day, think it's one of the best bang for your buck bottles out there. It really is absolutely delicious. 1792 Foolproof is hot sauce. Paul coming in with a hot take right there, and I think it depends on what kind of full or the 1792 Foolproof that you're rocking with. Some store picks are absolutely delicious. Some of them are a little bit different and have a different flavor profile. And then I've got one Foolproof that's not even a store pick and is absolutely delicious. One of my favorite bottles ever. Exactly, Salty. Some definitely drink hotter than others. That Larceny B524 is absolutely delicious. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going on 2.5 hours. This has been an absolute enjoyable live. I'm going to copy and paste the link to the Patreon one more time. If you've been contemplating doing the Patreon, now is your time to do it. Do that New Year's resolution right now. If you've been resoluting to join the Everyday Drinker Patreon, now's your time to do it. For as little as $2 a month, you can help join in on the Patreon, help me out like you wouldn't believe. It helps the channel out. It helps me get some of these bottles to do reviews for you, do barrel picks, and stuff along those lines. And I appreciate every single one of you, whether or not you join the Patreon or not. I love the support that you all bring me to this channel. It's absolutely awesome. Exactly, Paulo. As Salty would say, larceny is titties. Larceny is the titties. It really is. I used to love larceny more than Elijah Craig. Last year, I would say I liked the Elijah Craig a little bit more than the Larceny, but this year I think Larceny took it out and took the throne over Elijah Craig with their releases. I think Larceny brought out some better bottles and releases at better proof points, better flavor points and stuff like that. So we'll see what 2025 has to offer for these two bottles. Is Elijah Craig going to be better than Larceny, or is Larceny going to be better than Elijah Craig? That's going to be the question of the year. But hope you guys enjoyed this one. This has been an absolute fun live stream. We've been live for 2.5 hours. One of the longest live streams we've done in a very long time. But make sure you guys drop that like. Check out today's video. Make sure you guys check out Wednesday's video for the first video of 2025. This has been Nathan with the Everyday Drinker. Cheers.